Hello everyone, this is the first video of a series of videos we're going to make to get us all through this stressful time. I know a few of you are still making classes and that is wonderful, but for some of us we don't have a choice, we have to self-isolate. But it is really important, I believe, to keep moving. When you exercise you get your happy endorphins which boost the immune system, but they just make you feel great. So these are going to be fairly short videos. I am going to get started, so excuse me if it cuts my head off when I'm actually doing my workout, but most of it will be down on the mat. Okay, right, so I'm going to stand at the back of my mat. I've got my feet about a hip distance apart. I'm keeping the weight really equal throughout all 10 toes, the balls of my feet and my heels, so I feel I'm really grounded, really connected to my mat. I want you please to breathe in deeply through your nose and lift your arms up. Just lift your breastbone up to the ceiling. Take your arms as wide as you can and then just nod your chin to your chest. So as we inhale, lift, I've got a little bit of extension through my spine, and then as I exhale through my mouth, I nod my chin to my chest and I've got a bit of flexion. So let's go for 2 more like this. Just waking up the shoulders, getting rid of any tension that we might be holding through them. This time we inhale and lift, and then we're going to do a roll down. So imagine there's a wall behind you. You peel the back of your head off of the wall, your shoulders, your mid-back, your low back, and I just want you to hang here. Often we grip on in the neck here, but I want you to think of your head as a dead weight. Same with your arms, holding no tension in your neck or your shoulders. When you are ready, rebuild your spine. I want you to think about stacking each vertebra, one on top of the other. Again, imagine that wall behind you, stacking your spine up against that wall. And at the top, I lift up. I lift my breastbone up to the ceiling. I stretch wide, and I'm going to roll on down again. So just waking up the spine, stretching the neck, releasing the shoulders, getting a good stretch down the back of my legs. And then really make sure your weight's even throughout your feet again, rebuild your spine. So we're fairly slow, but not too much. We're just feeling and noticing the movement of our spine. And again, I lift up. And I stretch even wider. Now my chest is a bit more open, my shoulders are a bit more relaxed. I'm peeling my spine off of that imaginary wall behind me. And then this time I'm going to take my hands to the floor, so bend your knees if you need to. And I'm going to walk out to a plank position. So about 4 large steps takes me there. Now I'm going to work on stability in my pelvis. I want you just to hover your right leg about the same height as your bottom without your pelvis twisting. And then take that foot down. Lift your left leg. So lift it high enough, you feel your bottom muscles working, but not so high that your bottom lifts up to the ceiling. Take it down. Let's go for 2 more. As I'm doing this, I'm pressing my hands away from the mat to stabilize my shoulders. Last one, please. Don't let your head drop heavy here. Think about lifting through your throat and then take that foot down. We're going to shift the weight backwards so my hands and feet don't move, and I'm going to go to Pilates up stretch. Now I'm trying to encourage my heels to come to the mat. I'm pressing my bottom back to the wall behind me, and then with control I'm going to walk my hands in to my feet, and then I rebuild my spine. So I keep moving, I'm not speeding up, but always moving, lifting and reaching, noticing how released my shoulders feel already. I'm rolling down again, and this time I'm going to go for some press-ups. So I'm going to go down to my knees for my press-ups. It is up to you. If you want to do full press-ups, you absolutely can. Just make sure everything feels correct for you. So, Pilates press-up, we work the back of the arms. So we are going to breathe in through our nose as we lower down, and I'm squeezing my elbows into my ribs. And then I exhale, lift. My neck is still long. 2 more. I inhale, take it down. I pause, tuck my elbows in, and I exhale, lift. One more time, please. So let's not speed up here. The shape of my spine hasn't changed at all. It's just the bend of my elbows. Coming up strong, tucking my toes under, lifting back up to upstretch or downward facing dog. I've just walked my feet in a smidgen there so I can encourage my heels down to the mat a little bit more. My head's hanging. This time I'm going to walk my feet to my hands, so keep your legs as straight as possible for as long as you can. And then rebuild your spine. Your head's heavy until about now. And then we're going to cross our arms and cross our ankles. And we're going to come down to our mat as Joseph Pilates would have once done. If you're a bit tight, just take your hands to the floor and help yourself down. Wonderful. Roll on down to your mat. Just get yourself comfortable. Your legs are together, so they're not flopping out all over the place to the side. And then I just want you to pull your right knee into your chest, just to release through the hip. And whilst you're here, take a couple of deep breaths. Again, breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Pull in a bit deeper. I want you to push through the heel of the foot on the floor. So your left foot, flex it, pull your big toe back towards you, leave your right leg where it is, and then take your arms down to the mat. And we're going to start circling our thigh bone around in our hip socket. So first of all, we're just working on mobility of the hip here. My thigh bone is spinning around in the hip socket. Just a couple more, please. I'm not gripping on in the leg. I've got a good bend in my knee. Last on this direction. And then take it the opposite way. I am thinking about stability through my left leg. My left big toes facing up to the ceiling the whole time. I'm pressing through that left heel. Let's just go for one more circle this direction. And then when you're ready, lengthen your right leg out onto your mat. Hug your left knee in. So again, just get that release. And one hip may feel tighter than the other, and that's just fine. Perfectly normal. A couple of deep breaths as you release the hip. Whilst you're doing this, just start flexing your right foot again, pushing through that heel, and then push your arms into the mat. Strong connection from your shoulders to the tips of the fingers, and circle that left thigh bone in the hip socket. I want you to think about if there was a round clock face on the ceiling above you, your knee would hit every single digit on that clock. So it's a perfect and full circle. Getting as much mobility through the hip as possible. When you're ready, change direction. So again, for about 6 each way. Note that my right foot is still flexed. I'm not pressing into the back of my head so much that I'm creating tension through my neck. 2 more, please. And 1. When you're ready, just take your left foot to the floor. Bend your right knee so your foot is on the floor, and I'm going to have my heels underneath my knees. My knees and feet are just going to be about 3 inches apart, and I'm going to imagine I've got a yoga block in between my knees. So my knees can't come together, but I feel like I'm squeezing on something. I feel like my inner thighs are active. So press your arms into the mat, please. Squeeze on that imaginary block. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, I just want you to peel your bottom up off of the mat, your lumbar spine, your mid-back, and you come all of the way up into your shoulder bridge. Connect with your arms here. Now, on your way down, I want you just to feel your sternum melt down towards the mat, and then your spine follows. And then at the bottom, just let your back settle again, just into its natural shape. And I'm going to come up on my exhale. You can always play with the breath. But I'm exhaling, lifting. I pause at the top, my chin's not come to my chest. And then when you're ready, melt the sternum down towards the mat and feel the space that you are creating in between each vertebra. Just settle your back at the bottom and come on up. When you're at the top of the bridge, this is where your knees might want to flare, but you're going to squeeze on that imaginary block Make sure all 10 toes, all of your fingers and your thumbs have got pressure in them. And then melt your spine down. Now you can continue at this level by all means, or I'm going to start marching at the top, but you do what feels right for you today. Every day is a different day. I'm going to hover my right leg up, again thinking about stability of my pelvis. I take that foot down, not rushing. Left leg hovers, just so your knee is over the hip. I take it down. I want you to notice if one side is different to the other. And we're all either left or right-handed, or most of us are anyway. So one side is bound to feel different, and that's completely fine. But I just want you to notice and just start listening to the feedback your body gives you. I'm going to go for 2 more. So when my right leg's up, the left-hand side of my bottom is working hard. And I take it down. Last one, please. My neck is still long. My foot comes down. And then once again, my spine melts down. So if that level felt enough for you today, absolutely carry on there, or you can go for level 1, just the shoulder bridges. Or you can come up to the next level with me. So I'm peeling my spine up, but don't do anything that's not right for you today. I lift my right leg up, I reach it to the ceiling, I flex my foot, and I lower my heel down until my knees are parallel. And then I point and lift. I flex and lower for 2 more. And I lift with energy through the tips of the toes. Last one, please. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Bend your knee and take your foot down. Let's think about keeping that pelvis level. Left leg up. Reach it to the ceiling. Flex and lower. So for me, this side straight away is easier because I'm right side dominant. So my right side is more than happy with this. Left leg lowers, point and lift, bend your knee, take your foot down, and then melt your spine down. When you're ready, just draw your knees into your chest and rock your back from side to side. Just a little bit of a massage. And my bottom has worked quite hard there, so I'm going to get a little bit of a release through the hips. So, feet down, please. Take your right foot, the outside of the right foot, onto your left thigh. So your legs come to a turnout. And I just want you to either press that knee away from you with your hand, or you can allow it to open out. I'm trying to keep my waist equal length down both sides. Now, these legs are going to stay in this shape, but I am going to drop both legs towards the left-hand side. And I'm going to look over to the camera, I'm going to look over to my right shoulder. But still, this right knee isn't coming into my chest, it's pressing away from me. So I've got that rotation through my spine, stability through my shoulders. And then I come to center. And then my knees are going to drop to the right. I'm going to look over my left shoulder. Just take my arms a bit wider. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll over to my right side. So I'm going to face the camera. And I'm going to do a chest opener. I want you, please, to lift your left arm. Take it back. Your gaze is following that hand. And then we close again. So I'm looking at my hand the whole time. And I open out for 2. And my arm is reaching long. And then I close. Last one. Take it back, leave your arm wide, and then bring your legs up to center. Okay, I'm just going to lift my head to get into this position. I'm a bit tight. I'm going to take both hands behind my left leg now. I'm going to pull those legs towards the body, and I'm just stretching through the right-hand side of my bottom, and actually I am going to keep my head lifted. But you could have a pillow or something underneath your head here, completely up to you. I'm feeling a good stretch through the right-hand side of my bottom. I'm just breathing through this. And then I am going to take both feet down and release. Just give my bottom a little bit of a wiggle here. Let everything realign and settle. I'm going to put my left foot onto my right thigh now. I'm going to press that knee away. Just create that openness through the front of the hip. Couple of deep breaths here, so your arms can be a little bit wider if you wish. Okay. I am going to drop both legs towards you, so to the right. I'm going to gaze over my left shoulder. And then I come to center. And then both legs go to the left. I'm going to look over my right shoulder. My arms are going to go a bit wider. And then I'm going to have to turn my back on you. I am going to lift my right arm up to the ceiling. And my body follows. And then I lift up. And I come on back to you. Stretch that chest. And then I reach. Again, there's energy coming through the tips of my fingers the whole time. And then I take it back. Lovely. Spin your rib cage. Last one, please. Take your arm back. Your gaze follows that arm. And then look up to the ceiling. Your legs come up to center. I'm going to lift my head up again. And I'm going to pull both legs in towards me. Stretching through the outside of the left hip now. Couple of deep breaths here, please. Shoulders are relaxed, my elbows are wide as I pull the legs in towards me. And then when you're ready, just take your feet down. Give your bottom a little bit of a shuffle. And then I am going to come on up and we're going to go for our side bend work. So, I'm losing my hairband here. Sorry about this. I'm just going to tie my hair back up so it's out of the way. I'm going to go through two options with side bend. The first one is I am going to use my mat as a bit of a marker. My feet are stacked on top of each other. So are my hip bones and my hand is in line with my feet. So the back of the mat lining everything up. This arm, I want you to spin your arm bone backwards so you're just keeping this strength through the chest. I want you to take a deep breath in and then exhale. We're going to lift up and your arm goes over your head. I'm creating a rainbow shape. And then I lower down. So you can either rest your bottom down here completely or you can just kiss your hip to the mat. And we're going to go for a couple more like this. And my focus here is this lateral movement through the spine, like a side bend, trying to create this rainbow shape. One more time, please. So keep spinning this arm bone backwards. I side bend over. I drop my ear to my shoulder and I come down. Continue there if you wish, or you can go for 2 full ones where my bottom leg is long, so my right leg is long, my left foot is lined up with my right toes, and I'm pressing that foot into the mat. My mat's a bit slippy where we've been cleaning them so much. Create strength through the shoulder, take a deep breath in, and then exhale. I lift up, I wobble quite a lot, and I side bend, and then I lower down. I am now eating my hair as well as slipping on the mat. Last one, please. I lift up. I lift my hip to the ceiling. I drop my ear to my shoulder. And I lower down. That's my right arm, so that's my good side. And then I'm going to swivel around to face you. So my left arm is my supporting arm. Set up again. Feet, knees, hips lined up. Pressing the mat away from you so I'm not floppy in this arm. Inhaling to prepare. And then exhale. I lift up. And I press that hip up to the ceiling and stretch and lower down. Think about your head as the first vertebra. So as I lift up, I let my head drop to the shoulder and then the rest of my spine is going to follow in that sideways movement. Last time like this, please, unless you're going to stay at this level, which is absolutely fine. Press your hip up. And we lower down. And I'm going to take my left leg long now. I'm going to press into my right foot, feet are lined up, and I'm going to go for 2 full ones. Lovely. And again, you can see I'm on my left arm here, so I'm a lot more shaky, but that's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Last one, please. Let the head go. Let your right hip press up and lower down. And let's just rotate the wrists a couple of times. It's all great strengthening them, but a bit of mobility there is never going to go amiss. And then I'm going to bring you onto your tummy, please. So we're going to go for a swan dive. we are going to think about opening the front of the body. So my hands are underneath my shoulders. Notice my elbows are elevated. My legs are long in a parallel position, not too far apart. And again, I'm going to think of my head as the first vertebra, because if I go to a swan dive with my head, with my eyes facing down, I'm not getting much movement in my spine. So what I'm going to do, I press it into my hands and I start lifting my gaze. And then I start pressing into my hands and I come up to this stretch through the front of the body. And then I'm going to lengthen out back onto my mat. So my gaze really is the most important thing. So I start gazing up and then my spine follows. Now on the way down, imagine your vertebra, your spine is on the front of your body and you're going to try and articulate down to your mat. Last one like this. So you should never feel anything in your lumbar spine. For me, this is about the stretch through the front of the body. You can see from my chest bone all the way down to my pubic bone. Yes, the back muscles are really working, but effectively what I'm working on is stretching the front of my body. Last one, please. Gazing up and coming down. Lengthen on your way down. And when you're ready, let's just do the opposite shape. So we're going to flex our spine now. I'm just going to sit to my bottom back to my heels. I'm going to bring my eyebrows into my knees. And you can have your arms long in front. If that's too much on your shoulders, just take your hands behind. But here we're trying to make our back as round as possible. So crown of the head down to the mat. Eyebrows to your knees. Take a really long and deep breath in here and feel your ribcage expand out to the sides of the room. And as you exhale, you sink deeper, you get that release. And again, breathe in fully. And exhale completely. And then I'm going to bring you onto your front again, just for a little bit more strengthening through the back. We're going to go for swimming. We're going to go fairly slow. I find this a very challenging move. I think most of us do, but the challenging ones are the most important ones for us to do. So my feet are not too far apart. My palms are pressing into the mat. I'd like you to inhale, lift your left arm, your right leg, but remember where your gaze goes really helps the movement of the spine. And then I exhale, lower. I switch sides. I inhale, lift. I gaze up. And I exhale, come down. We've got 6 more here, please. I lift. I lower. The hand that's on the floor, so my left hand this time, I'm going to press into it to lift my upper body a little bit more. And 4, please. Just watch your legs are not drifting out to the sides of the room. They're staying towards your midline. And 3. And 2. So inhaling, lifting. Your exhale lowers you, don't just collapse down to the mat. Last one, please. Lift up and lower. And when you're ready, just press yourself back into your rest position again. So your knees are together. That way you're going to stretch your spine more. It's not a hip stretch. Give your bottom a little bit of a wiggle if it helps you get that release there. And then I'm just going to articulate my spine up, so I'm stacking the vertebra until I'm on my knees, and I am going to come up to high knees, and I'm going to go for thigh stretch. So opening out through the thighs and the hips. I want you to think about not letting your hips close here. So keep the hips open, rib cage in, take your arms in front of you, and I want you just to breathe in and you lean back. And you exhale, lift. So your body doesn't change shape. There's energy coming through the crown of the head. And then you use your exhale to lift you. Don't let those hips fold. 3 more back, please. Squeeze your legs together. They are going to want to come apart. Mine are starting to drift, so I have to consciously squeeze them together. Oh, I find this so challenging. Last one, please. I take it back. And as I come up, I feel like I'm growing taller. And then relax your arms down. I'm going to lay you onto your side for a little bit of side kick work. I create a pillow for my head with my arm, or you can prop yourself up with your hand, wherever your neck is best aligned. Your bottom leg, I'm going to have it bent for a little bit of stability. I'm going to press my right hand just in towards the mat, near my belly button. I'm not using the arm too much though. And I'm going to flex the foot of the right leg. And I reach that heel to the wall over there. So I feel everything becoming very active. I kick forwards and I point back. And I flex forwards. And as I take my leg back, I'm really feeling this stretch through the front of the hip. And I'm working on stabilizing my pelvis and the upper body as well. 2. And back. And 1. Take it back, leave it there, and let's circle for 5. And 4. So I'm not making the rest of my body rigid, but I'm trying to limit the movement as much as I can, so it's all in the hip. 2 more big ones, please. And then I change direction. 5. I'm inhaling for 1 circle. I'm exhaling for the next circle. So it's not a really quick movement. 2 more. I'm exploring the movement I have at the hip. Last one. And then I finish with my leg in line with my bottom. Again, I reach that leg long to lengthen my waist. I'm going to lift it a bit higher and I'm going to pulse. Small controlled pulses. I'm not dropping too much each time, otherwise that's kind of cheating. Just a few more here. And then I'm going to flex this foot. I want the side of the foot parallel to the ceiling, not the big toe facing up to it. And I pulse, pulse, pulse. 8, 7. Really feeling my bottom working now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. And then release. Just drop that leg in front of the bottom one. Give your bottom a little bit of a rub if you need to. And then I'm just going to swivel you around. So we're going to work the left leg now. So wherever your neck was better aligned, either a cushion or prop yourself up. Bottom leg bent, point of stability. Again, I'm more wobbly on this side because it's my left leg. I'm flexing through that foot. I'm lengthening through my waist. I kick forwards. And I take it back. And I go for 5. And sweep back. So we're trying to think about the pelvis not rolling back as the leg goes behind. 3. Make sure you're not taking tension in your neck or your shoulders. And 1 more, please. I finish with the leg behind and I circle. And I go for 4. And 3. I want you to imagine you're drawing a big circle on the wall with your big toe. 2 more, please. This direction. As I said, I'm much tighter on this side. And then change direction. We go for 5. And 4. Can you take the leg a little bit further behind in line with your bottom as your hip begins to loosen? 2 more, please. Really lengthening through the hip. Last for 1. And bring your leg in line with your bottom. So take it back. Reach it long. Lift it up. So I'm not collapsing into my waist on the mat and I'm pulsing. And pulse. We go 8, 7, 6, 5, small and high. 3, 2, 1. Flex. Let's just level the foot out. And pulse, pulse, pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5. Really press through your heel. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Oh, and release. Down. Again, give your bottom a little bit of a rub if that helps you release all the side of the leg. And then I'm going to get you to prop yourself up. And we're going to finish, let me sort my trousers out, with a mermaid, some more lateral flexion of the spine. So knees lined up with the mat. You're going to have your right foot on your left thigh. Your right hand just goes out wide. Lift your left hand up, palm up to the ceiling. And I'm just going to side bend, and I just soften my elbow down to the mat. And then I kind of come up tall, and then I change sides, so I really reach. And we go for 2 more, please. Take it over. Again, your head is that first vertebra. And as I lift strong, using my center, final one this way. Pause, just press your left hip down as your right hip. I'm used to saying the opposite one to everyone else. I'm pressing my right hip down to the mat, and I'm reaching my right arm long. And I'm going to sit tall and just swivel round. Try and get my lefts and rights right now. Okay, left foot on your right thigh. Right foot just in line with your bottom. Take your left hand down and give me a lovely side bend. This is your mermaid, let your head go. And we lift again, strong through your center. And stretch, this time pressing your left hip down. Try not to let that elbow bend. Reach through the arm. 2 more, please. Lovely, soften through your left shoulder. Breathing as you go. And give me 1 more big reach. And you are done. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me to do some home practice. I hope you enjoyed the class. I'm going to be doing lots more. Please take really good care of yourself. We love you all lots. Take care. Bye.